All right, so you've been really digging deep into this cloud security stuff, huh? And now you're looking at a whole bunch of research about something called a CASB.
CASB?
Yeah, a cloud access security broker.
Yeah,
It's a bit of a mouthful,
it is.
but trust me, this is a lot more exciting than it sounds.
Oh yeah, way more exciting.
This is like the Swiss Army knife of cloud
I
security.
like that analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Yeah.
like the CASB sits right between your company's network and all those cloud services that you're using,
Uh-huh.
like Office 365 and Salesforce, all that good stuff.
Right.
And it's constantly working to make sure only the right people, devices, and applications are accessing your data out there in the cloud.
So it's not just a bouncer at the door, like
Right.
checking IDs.
What's more like
It's like a whole,
a whole security team.
yeah, a whole security team all rolled into one.
Wow.
And one of the coolest things is that it can enforce those company security policies even when your data is outside of that traditional network.
Right. You know that perimeter? So
Yeah.
we're talking about controlling authentication, authorization, even device profiling.
Oh, wow.
Like it can tell if someone's trying to access sensitive data from like their personal phone instead of a company device.
That's crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
So it's like this watchdog, just making sure that no one's sneaking in the back door with their personal phone and like downloading the whole customer database.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
And it's not just about blocking stuff either.
Oh, really?
CASBs can actually encrypt sensitive data right then and there, like on the fly.
Wow.
It's adding that extra layer of protection, even if it does end up in the wrong hands.
Oh.
And then you have this whole other problem.
Yeah.
This shadow IT problem.
Shadow IT.
Yeah. Have you heard of this?
I don't think so. That sounds kind of spooky.
It can be. It's basically when employees are using cloud apps that the IT department doesn't even know about.
Oh.
And it creates a huge security risk. Think about it. All those file sharing services, all the collaboration tools that people use without any official approval.
Right.
Well, a CASB can really like shine a light on all that hidden activity,
Right.
giving you the visibility you need to manage the risk.
So it's like having X-ray vision into your company's cloud usage.
Exactly.
You can see all those hidden pockets where things could go wrong.
Precisely.
Right.
But it goes even deeper than that.
Really?
CASBs can analyze how people are using devices and applications looking for anything unusual.
Okay.
That might signal a problem. That's where user and entity behavior analytics comes in, or
UEB.
UEBA. It's like having a detective, constantly looking for clues that something's not quite right.
Hold on. So it's not just about the rules and policies.
Right.
It's actually looking for like patterns in behavior that could be a threat.
Exactly.
How does that even work?
Well, it's actually pretty fascinating.
Hmm.
CASBs learn what normal behavior looks like
Okay.
for each user and device.
Yeah.
So then if somebody starts doing something out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
like accessing data they never touch,
Well.
or suddenly downloading a ton of information, the CASB can flag it.
And say, hey.
Yeah, like, hey,
Yikes.
what's going on here? Let's take a look.
That's pretty amazing. It's like a sixth sense
It is.
for security threats, picking up on those little things that we humans might miss.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's really just scratching the surface.
Wow.
CASBs are constantly evolving, incorporating all these new technologies like machine learning
Oh, wow.
to get even smarter about threat detection and prevention.
Okay, so we've got this really sophisticated system that's watching over our cloud usage, enforcing the policies, encrypting our data, and even detecting weird behavior.
Hmm.
But how does this actually translate into like real world benefits? What threats are we really talking about here?
Well, let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
So imagine like this scenario where someone accidentally forwards a confidential email to their personal account,
Oh, yeah.
with sensitive customer data. A CASB can like step in and actually prevent that data from leaving the company's control.
Okay, so it's not just about external threats then.
Right.
It's also about preventing those internal mistakes that can happen so easily.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've all accidentally hit reply all at some point, right?
Oh, yeah, for
More
sure.
times than I'd like to admit.
Exactly. And then you have the whole issue of malware.
Malware.
Those nasty little programs that can like sneak onto your device and just wreak havoc.
Right.
Well, CASBs can scan files in the cloud looking for those malware signatures and block anything that looks suspicious.
Okay, so it's like a bouncer for bad software?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But what about those zero-day threats?
Oh, right. The ones that no one knows about yet.
Exactly. Like, can the CASB really protect against something it doesn't even know exists?
That's a good question.
It is. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Some of those more advanced CASBs use sandboxing.
Sandboxing.
Yeah, like a little digital quarantine.
Yeah.
They isolate suspicious files in a safe environment just to see what they do,
I see.
before letting them anywhere near your data.
It's like a digital petri dish.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So what happens if someone actually does compromise an account?
Yeah. Can a CASB help with that?
Absolutely. Remember all that user behavior analysis stuff we were talking about?
Right.
Well, if a CASB sees an account acting weird,
Like,
like maybe accessing files they shouldn't or sending data somewhere unusual, it
right.
can automatically trigger these security measures,
Like what kind of measures?
like locking down the account or sending an alert to the security team.
Right,
It
right.
could even block specific actions, like right then and there,
Wow.
preventing data from getting out before it's too late.
That's pretty impressive.
It is kind of like having a security guard
Yeah.
who's not only watching the doors, but also keeping an eye on everything going on inside,
Right.
ready to step in at any moment.
Wow, that's a good analogy. And speaking of watching everyone inside,
Mm,
let's talk about this whole privilege access thing.
okay.
And you wouldn't want just anyone to have access to the really sensitive stuff, right?
No, definitely not. That's like giving everyone the master key to the whole kingdom.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Not at all. This is where the principle of least privilege comes in.
Okay.
A CASB can actually help enforce this
Ah,
by making sure users only have access to the specific data and applications they need for their job.
got it. So no more just giving everyone access to everything.
Right. It's about tailoring that access based on their role and what they're responsible for.
Okay, so it's a lot more granular than it used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can even control access down to like the file level.
Oh, wow.
You can even restrict certain actions within an application. It's all about creating fine-grained controls to minimize that risk of unauthorized access.
Even from people with the right credentials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this level of control, I imagine it can get pretty complex.
Yeah, especially for those big companies with thousands of users and tons of cloud applications.
It definitely can. That's why CASBs are getting so sophisticated with automation and policy management.
So you're not like manually configuring rules for every single person.
No, no, no. You're setting those high-level policies and letting the CASB handle all those details.
I see.
You're basically defining the security posture, and the CASB just takes care of the rest. It adapts to, changes the monitor's activity, and enforces those policies across your entire cloud environment.
So it really is like having that whole team of security experts working 24/7.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
And the best part is that CASBs are always learning and evolving.
Right.
They're constantly getting better at detecting those threats and protecting your data as new challenges come up.
It's like they're always one step ahead.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay, so it sounds like CASBs are really like pushing the boundaries of what's possible in cloud security.
They really are.
But with all this talk about threats and lockdowns and stuff,
Right.
makes me wonder, are we losing some of that flexibility and agility that makes the cloud so appealing in the first place? You know?
That's a really good question. And honestly, it's something that I think a lot of companies are struggling with.
Right.
But the truth is, security and agility, they don't have to be like enemies.
Oh.
They can actually work together. A well-implemented CASB can actually boost your agility in the cloud
Really? How?
by providing that layer of trust and protection that you need.
So it's not about building these walls to keep everything out.
Right.
It's more about like creating safe pathways for innovation to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if you're always worried about, data breaches and compliance violations,
Right.
you're going to be afraid to try new cloud services or new ways of working.
You're going to be walking on eggshells.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when you have a strong CASB in place,
Yeah.
you can move more confidently. You can explore those opportunities without having to sacrifice security.
Hmm.
Your data is safe no matter where it is or how it's being accessed.
So it's like having a safety net so you can take more risks.
Exactly. And that's really the whole point here. The cloud has this incredible potential to change how we work, how we collaborate, how we come up with new ideas.
Right.
But to really unlock that potential, you've got to address security head on. You can't treat it as an afterthought or an obstacle. It has to be the foundation.
So instead of seeing security as a restriction, we should see it as like a way to grow and innovate.
Exactly. When you have that solid foundation, you can really focus on the big picture. Use the cloud to hit your goals, boost efficiency, create value.
So it's about being proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens. When companies stop being afraid of the cloud and start using it as a platform for secure innovation, that's when we see real change.
It sounds like CASBs are a big part of that change, helping companies find that balance.
They are. And as the cloud keeps evolving,
Yeah.
we can expect CASBs to keep getting more advanced.
Okay.
They'll incorporate new technologies and adapt to all the new threats that come up.
So it's a pretty exciting time to be in cloud security.
It is. It's a lot of challenges, but so many opportunities.
For sure. Well, that's a great place to wrap things up. I think
I agree.
we've covered so much today, from like the basics of how CSBs work to the bigger picture of security and innovation in the cloud.
We've talked about the threats, the defenses, and how important it is to find that balance where security actually helps you instead of holding you back.
And I think the most important thing we've learned is that cloud security isn't just about technology.
Right.
It's about people making smart choices, building a security-first culture, working together to make the cloud safer for everyone.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep learning, keep asking those questions, and keep diving deep into this incredible world of cloud security.
I'll see you next time.